8 videos, 8 ordinary places. Each one captured a moment where something ordinary turned unsettling. A hallway, a funeral home, a child's bedroom. And the camera recorded things that, to this day, don't sit right with anyone who sees them. Before we dive in, we'll walk through each clip in order, tell you what the footage actually shows, share how the people involved reacted, and offer a couple of possible explanations, technical or natural, and the alternative some viewers quietly call paranormal. If this kind of footage interests you, like and subscribe, and leave your theories down below. But for now, watch closely. These are 8 encounters caught on camera that remain truly unexplainable. 1. Arya, hotel hallway. Watch closely. The hallway looks empty for most of the clip, but her behavior tells a different story. Arya uploaded a series of videos and messages about a terrifying night in a mid-range hotel. The most chilling segment is a short hallway clip recorded on her phone. She is seen hurrying down the corridor with a suitcase, looking back so often it becomes the clip's central image. From the camera's angle, the hallway is empty. There's no visible person trailing her. Still, Arya's panic is unmistakable. She breaks into a near run, pushes elevator buttons frantically, and when the elevator doors finally slide open, she stumbles inside with a look that says she's expecting someone to step through after her. Here's the part that makes hair rise. While she is inside the elevator, the doors refuse to close. They hang open. The indicator panel shows the elevator is attempting to seal, but the doors stay parted as if blocked. When Arya frantically steps out and slams them shut, they close normally and continue to the floor. She later abandons her room, leaving personal items behind. Hotel staff later uploaded security camera footage shot by a housekeeper doing a test on the hallway. In that auxiliary clip, taken when the housekeeper walked the corridor with a latch tool to test the door, a shadow darts across the hallway in a way that doesn't line up with any nearby person, and an object perched on a ledge tumbles to the floor moments later without any apparent contact. People sent Arya messages, and the staff reported being unnerved. There's no public record of any conclusive explanation or of structural faults being found. The footage itself raises more questions than answers. Why would an elevator refuse to close only while she was inside? Why would an object fall on its own when no visible motion registered? Possible natural explanations. Camera angles and timing could hide a second person. A mechanical malfunction in the elevator could create odd door behavior. A loose object might have been dislodged by vibration or air currents. Housekeeping routines, staff movement, or a service door might explain some of it.
Alternative hypothesis offered by viewers. The shadow dart and the selective elevator refusal suggest something that interacts differently with humans and machines, an impulse best described as anomalous. 2. Mateo Sanchez, funeral home disturbance. A quiet place went quiet in the wrong way. The next clip comes from Mateo Sanchez, a worker at a funeral home who posted footage and a short account of an escalation in unexplained activity after a particular body arrived. Video of the chapel and the preparation room shows ordinary movement, staff working, trolleys, the low hum of lights. Then reports from employees and audio captured on a phone describe a sudden shift in atmosphere. Cameras pick up distant thuds and muffled noises nobody in the building seems to produce, and staff members are heard speaking in hushed, unsettled tones about the space feeling heavy or not right. There are no dramatic visual apparitions in these clips. The evidence is mainly auditory and atmospheric, items that seem to have been nudged out of place, doors that were found slightly ajar, and an overall thread of unease that persists after one particular body arrived for processing. Mateo's comments in his posts are measured. He doesn't claim an outright haunting, but he does say staff confidence diminished and that several employees requested days off following the incidents. Possible natural explanations. Funeral homes run on mechanical systems. Trolleys and service carts can shift, and HVAC systems sometimes make strange resonant noises that travel through walls. Grief and suggestion can make places feel heavier. Once a few people believe a location is unsettled, the expectation can amplify ordinary sounds. Alternative hypothesis offered by others. Staff say the change in atmosphere coincided exactly with the arrival of that one case, and for some employees the timing and the pattern of noises felt targeted, not random, leaving them convinced something else was present. 3. Josh, repeated home intrusions or something worse. He thought the house was empty. The camera said otherwise. Josh, a homeowner who shares home security footage, posted nights of activity across multiple clips. The first few nights show heavy footsteps crossing the upstairs hallway, captured by infrared cameras while the house is supposedly empty. In another clip, you can hear a scream from the ground floor. The camera pans to a child's bedroom where nothing immediately visible moves. Later clips show orbs, small points of light, drifting through a dim living room. Most unsettling, perhaps, is a clip of a classic wooden rocking horse in a child's playroom. The toy is stationary. The footage shows nothing touching it. Then its head jerks, and the whole toy begins to rock with increasing force as if someone were riding it. Josh's narration in his posts becomes progressively more distressed.
He switches cameras on during the night, checks the footage in the morning, and shares clips with timestamps. After multiple incidents, footsteps, unexplained noises, the rocking horse, he states that he and his family felt unsafe and eventually decided to move out. Possible natural explanations: uneven floors, drafts, or a remote control mechanism could make a rocking toy move. Animals or structural settling can account for footstep-like sounds. Dust, insects, or small reflective particles sometimes create orb-like artifacts in infrared or low-light cameras. Alternative hypothesis: the pattern of escalation, footsteps, audible panic, orbs, then objects moving without contact, convinced many viewers it was more than a camera artifact or house creak. To them, it looks like an intelligence testing the household. 4. New Orleans family. TV cabinet moves on its own. A child's finger points at the answer before the adults do. This clip is brief but unnerving in its simplicity. A family in New Orleans captured a living room moment. The household is watching television, kids are present, and the camera casually records family life. At one point, the youngest child points toward the TV stand, insists something is moving, and the parents pause the program. The footage shows the cabinet holding the TV subtly shift. Not a sudden collapse, but a visible movement where one side inches forward and then recedes as if nudged. The camera angle is close enough to demonstrate that no adult hand is involved in that frame. The parents check for vibration, check the floor, and re-watched the clip in slow motion. They posted the footage with a question, asking if it could be simple settling or something stranger. Possible natural explanations: old floorboards, an unlevel base, or an appliance cycling could cause brief movement that looks directed on video. Hidden vibrations from nearby traffic or construction sometimes register in loose furniture. Alternative hypothesis: the child's immediate confidence that that moved, and the subtle, deliberate motion of the cabinet is read by some viewers as evidence of a presence interacting with objects in the home, small but direct contact with the world. 5. Anthony. Crawlspace footage. This is the clip that tightens the chest. Anthony had been hearing persistent knocking and thumps under his house for months. Repeated inspections by him and contractors revealed nothing: no raccoons, no obvious pest activity, and no structural problems that explain the sounds. Frustrated and afraid, Anthony mounted a small camera in the crawlspace and left it to record for an extended period. When he reviewed the footage, the camera showed a dark, narrow passage lit only by the camera's night vision. For a long stretch, nothing happens. Then, as if pulled from the edge of perception, a humanoid shadow forms at the far end of the frame.
It doesn't fully step into view. Instead, it appears as a low, vertical shape that seems to move against the floor, like something breathing through the crawlspace. At one point, there's a clear, audible scraping and a knock that sounds like someone intentionally striking a wooden joist. When the camera captures a closer moment, the figure's form is ambiguous. There's motion, but no clear limbs or facial features. Anthony's reaction in the posted video is raw. He is frightened, apologetic, and adamant he will not re-enter that part of the house alone. Possible natural explanations: low-resolution night vision footage compresses and blurs shapes, and insects, rodents, or accumulations of debris can form oddly humanoid silhouettes. Shifting insulation or loose vapor barrier sheets can snap and scrape when the temperature changes or air moves through. Alternative hypothesis: the timing, months of knocks followed by a recorded shape that appears deliberately humanoid, persuaded some viewers that the footage shows an entity using the crawlspace as a staging ground, an invasive presence that can be glimpsed on camera but not easily reached. 6. Laura. Reflections, a shadow outside the bedroom, and a mist in a crib. Parental fear is its own lens, and a baby monitor doesn't lie. Laura shared multiple clips from around her home. The first is a bedroom doorway where reflections on glass appear to show a person walking just outside, even though the camera and her own account insist she was alone in the room at the time. In other clips, there are recurring appearances of a shadowy outline along the hallway, a silhouette that lingers for a beat, then fades. The most alarming footage is from a baby monitor. In the monitor's night vision, a faint, gray mist-like movement appears in the baby's crib and seems to drift across the mattress before dissipating. Laura's reaction is immediate and protective. She shows the clip, explains she removed her child from the room, and pleads for help identifying what it could be. Viewers reacted strongly to the baby monitor clip, many urging caution and emphasizing parental instincts. Laura blurred identifying details in her post, and she repeatedly asked for practical advice rather than sensational commentary. Possible natural explanations. Night vision cameras often produce artifacts from breath, dust, or insects that can look like mist. Reflections off windows or overlapping images from glass surfaces can create the illusion of figures where none exist. Alternative hypothesis. The consistency of the shadow appearances across multiple cameras, combined with the monitor mist that appears inside the crib, makes some observers suspect a presence that can manifest in subtle, localized ways, particularly in rooms associated with care and sleep. 7. Hannah, the bathroom knocks. Knocks with nowhere to come from. Hannah's clip is short and disorienting.
Audio recorded on a mobile phone captures a steady, rhythmic knocking coming from inside a bathroom. Hannah checks the room, shows the empty stall and counters, and films herself opening cabinets, peering into the shower, and even checking vents. Nothing visible emerges from the search. The knocks continue in the recording after she leaves and locks the door, and at no point does a person appear on camera. The post ends without resolution or follow-up. Possible natural explanations. Plumbing and pipes sometimes create knocking noises that travel in deceptive ways. Loose tiles or a pressure-equalizing vent can cause rhythmic taps. Old buildings have all kinds of resonant pathways for sound. Alternative hypothesis. The persistence of a deliberate, patterned knocking when no mechanical source is found led a number of viewers to wonder if the sound was being produced by an unseen agent attempting contact. 8. Braden, Benton, and Karsten, the rocking chair. Kids don't fake the way they fear. The final clip is one of the simplest and most affecting. 3 children, captured in a handwritten note accompanying the upload as Braden, Benton, and Karsten, creep into their parents' bedroom in the dark and find the rocking chair in the corner moving gently, as if recently vacated. The footage shows the children whispering, a shared look of alarm, and then a sudden, collective sprint from the room. Their fear feels genuine. There's no theatricality, just the honest, instinctive flight of children who believe something unseen has just been there. The parents later post a clip of themselves checking the chair after the fact. It's cold, still, and nothing is found to explain the motion. Possible natural explanations. A localized draft, the chair being unbalanced on an uneven floor, or a mechanical toy hidden nearby could account for movement. Kids can be primed by stories and imagination, and when they expect something to happen, their perception can confirm it. Alternative hypothesis. The immediacy of the children's fear and the clean video of the chair moving with no visible cause convinced many viewers that the clip captures an honest, unstaged moment of an object being influenced by something beyond ordinary physics. Now, let's step back and look for patterns. Across these 8 clips, several themes repeat. Ordinary domestic spaces becoming focal points for the uncanny, cameras picking up things human eyes miss or contradict, and objects behaving without visible contact. That paradox, technology both revealing and obscuring, is what keeps these clips alive in viewers' minds. In some, the evidence is primarily audio. In others, it's a shadow that slips off frame at the moment you expect it to resolve. In nearly all, the human reactions are the most compelling component. Panic in a hotel hallway, a funeral home team unsettled by atmosphere, a homeowner packing to leave, a parent removing a baby from a room, children fleeing a nursery chair.
The footage itself rarely offers a tidy explanation. When we consider alternate explanations, there are sensible, non-paranormal answers for much of what appears. Camera artifacts, low light distortions, mechanical quirks, settling floors, drafts, electrical interference, and the well-documented ways suggestion shapes perception. In every case, it's possible to assemble a list of plausible, natural causes that fit fragments of the evidence. That said, the pattern of multiple anomalies in the same location, persistent knocks that precede a recorded shadow, elevator doors behaving inconsistently during a single person's passage, raises questions that technicalities alone don't always resolve. So what should you take away? Look carefully at the footage itself, value the eyewitness reactions, and weigh the alternatives without sliding into certainty. These clips are powerful because they are domestic. They show lives and homes violated in subtle ways. That vulnerability is what makes them resonate. A quick note on safety. If you have footage or are tempted to investigate, do not put yourself or others at risk to get a story. Do not enter crawl spaces alone. Do not confront unknown sources. And if minors are involved, always prioritize their privacy and safety. Blur faces and withhold identifying details. If you have something to share, use secure submission channels and avoid publishing personal addresses or contact information publicly. Before we close, here are the top 3 moments that viewers on the thread kept returning to. Arya's elevator refusing to close only while she was inside. Anthony's crawlspace camera showing a low, humanoid silhouette after months of knocks.
and Laura's baby monitor clip that appeared to show mist moving inside a crib. Those 3 clips combine strong visual or audio anomalies with real human fear, which keeps them at the center of the conversation. If you think you can explain any of these clips, tell us why in the comments. If you have footage you'd like us to consider, use the submission link in the description. We'll review clips, but please submit responsibly and without putting anyone in danger. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe. We'll leave you with this. Cameras were designed to see and to record, but what they reveal doesn't always come with answers. If these 8 recordings refuse to explain themselves, then the real question is not what the camera caught, it's what, if anything, waits just beyond the frame.